What's up, YouTube? I am here today to do a Q&A. I went back on Instagram a couple of days ago and asked a lot of you guys if you had any questions for me, and so I'm going to be answering them. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Let's go. First off, I would like to say also a lot of the old landscape photography tutorial videos that I've made in the past, I'm going to be posting again on this channel, but they're not going to be the same. It's going to be remixed and remastered. I cut out a lot of slop, re-edited the sound to sound better, and kind of adjusted the colors just to my liking. Upload them, you'll see them maybe in a couple weeks or so. To the questions. Question number 1 comes from T.Breckenridge732, and they ask, are you a native Oregonian or did you move there? Yeah, I'm native. I've lived here my whole life. Barely even moved out of Eugene, Oregon. I moved to Newport for like 2 years over on the coast, and then I moved back after that, and I'm here back in Eugene, Oregon. At Looking for Enlightenment asks, what camera is best for a beginner who isn't very familiar with cameras? I would say on that, it kind of doesn't really matter what camera you have when you're new and you're a beginner. I would say just in general, what you're going to want to do is get any camera and then spend a lot of time with it. And then from there, you just kind of learn the camera as you learn photography. Try to figure out which brand you'd like and what lenses work for you, and then you might pair a good body with those lenses. You know, I don't think it matters that much. At Justin Erickson said, what inspires you? That's a hard one. Sometimes I have no idea. I just feel the urge to get out and take photos. I don't know if that's boredom, like the definition of boredom. You know, you get so bored that then you become productive. I'm not good at being bored, and I start getting creative and want to go out. But sometimes I see photos from other people that inspire me to like have a vision, and then once I have a vision, I'm set, and then I start just doing whatever it takes to make that vision come to life. Mainly, I don't feel like I'm someone that needs inspiration. It just comes from the inside. Huge Bass 10 says, what's your favorite type of photography, i.e. landscape, nature, portraits, city, etc.? Probably most definitely landscape photography. I think this earth is like an amazing, beautiful thing that we all need to cherish, probably more than we do. And it's just an amazing, I mean, like, we were given life on this planet. I just think that, like, it's kind of crazy when people don't like the earth. Like, I'll be on a hike and I'll be like, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is. And I'll stand there for like 2 minutes just to take it in. And other people are like, yeah, let's keep going. I'm like, how okay, I'll see you up there. Anyways, most definitely it's landscape photography. Portraits, I don't really... Landscapes in general, I think, just dominate photography in general. Maybe that's my opinion, and I'm biased a little bit, but... Next question. At Ian Chanyu, sorry if that's wrong, what inspired you to start photography? Did anyone inspire / motivate you, and if so, who? There's a guy on Instagram that's called Fursty, F-U-R-S-T-Y, and he was a huge inspiration to me. Just he does landscapes, but they're like up in the North Cascades in Washington, and he does a lot of super moody, like deep blues, deep greens, and I don't know, something about his like aerial photography that he would do just inspired me to go outside. And like, I've been a graphic designer for a while, and that's kind of part of like a portfolio that I think a graphic designer would be nice to have. And so I started photography because I wanted to have like more things that I could offer to clients, and I figured if I'm making like a website for somebody and a logo, why not be able to tell them that I could take photography, you know, of their product. Maybe if it's like a winery, I take some photos of their estates. That's kind of why I wanted to get into it. But then I found that the best format of taking photos for me that fit was just going to the outdoors and admiring them, but then also trying to capture that so that other people can feel what I feel. Next question. I hope I answered that one to your liking. Anandai Sundar. And they say, how does it feel when so many people appreciate your beautiful photos? It's just nature getting the recognition it deserves. Like, I obviously edit my photos to my liking, and if I have like an original thought on what I want an image to look like before I make it, and then I edit, sometimes I edit a lot, and like to get that final image. If it gets some sort of appreciation, it feels nice. But it's something weird about Instagram is when you post a photo and it gets like a lot more likes than you get on average, it still doesn't, ooh, cool, I got 1,000 likes on that one, or oh, it's surpassing 2,000 likes. I used to get that feeling before I did landscape photography with my normal everyday photos. It would be like, oh, that one got 40 likes. Oh, it's getting 50, surpassing 80. Wow. All my friends like that. And that feeling never really changes. Whenever you get a lot, you could always be okay with getting a little more. And so I kind of just don't even care about the likes for me anymore. I like getting stuff out there and having people appreciate it, and so that means a lot to me, is when somebody feels inspired, or that it made their day better, or they just want to go out and maybe try to get the same photo or a similar one. That's like what totally makes my day. Or when I hear stories about how I got somebody into photography, that's like huge. I would never have expected to have that much of an impact on anyone, and so it's kind of special. It's very special to me, and so I can thank you for that and how much that means. And I'm glad I could also pass on that type of love for photography. At Annie's_art_world says, what inspires you about being a father? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. I enjoy being a father. What inspires you about being a father? I mean, it is I got a better answer. It has inspired me to get into portrait photography more. Because the family, taking photos of them has been fun, but it's also kind of taught me how to get better at like capturing the moment. Because when you have a kid, they move fast, and like the first steps happen. I try to capture those in video. It's kind of inspired me to do more video. But when I'm capturing video of like a milestone, capturing moments as opposed to getting like a artistic shot, because sometimes you try to get like a good background blur, similar to like a portrait, but live during a video. But if you don't nail it, you just kind of missed the moment. And so it's kind of taught me maybe to just like be better at capturing the moment sometimes, as opposed to getting an artistic shot. For kids, you just gotta be there at the right time, ready. At Svenyax says, what's your favorite photo you ever took, and how do you make portraits look more natural? It changes from time to time. I would say maybe my most favorite of all time would be Proxy Falls, but that's got a special place in my heart, just like the location. That was like one of the first massively epic waterfalls I saw that just blew my mind. It's really hard waterfall to capture, and so when I was like finally able to capture it, it felt like I found gold. And also I was out with a friend that I enjoyed. I made a video about it, so maybe I'll link it somewhere. I was out with a friend, and it was like that road was closed. We had to hike up the road. So there's just this crazy backstory to how I arrived at that photo. And I feel like I nailed it, like artistically and both like technically perfect and like how I envisioned it artistically. And so that's probably one of them. But then it switches to like the foggy tree photo. I really like that story and the backstory and capturing it and planning that photo out and then making it happen. So I would say maybe all the photos of mine that had like a very illustrious, is that a word? Plan to getting the photo and then like nailing it, because that's kind of a rare thing in landscape photography. It makes you really just feel like you found gold. And then how do you make portraits look more natural? I would say a problem I see with a lot of people's portraits is that they're oversaturated. I used to do the same thing because when I did landscapes, I oversaturate a little bit. Some people undersaturate, depends on your style. But with portraits, if you oversaturate, the flesh tones start getting kind of extreme, and that's when it becomes like really obvious. And so I would say maybe just pull back the colors a little bit. You know, try to nail your white balance. But then maybe if you mean natural as in like expressions, maybe as the photographer taking the photos, try to interact with your subject, make them laugh, make them smile, or also pay attention to when they look away and they're engaging with other people. There's a lot of candid moments you can catch with just watching people. And don't ever tell yourself there's not a time to take photos. I snap photos all the time and people never even know. It sounds weird when you say it like that, but I've got some good, very candid and natural photos that way. Just pretty much don't stop taking photos if you're at a photo shoot. Oh, you know what? That's all the questions. Hopefully this was short. I might have to chop it up like crazy. I hope you like this type of video. I hope it provided you some extra like photography insight that makes you just want to go out there and take photos or admire the earth or like take portrait photography better, or just start in general, get a new camera, all that stuff. If you think this is something I should do more often, like a question and answer thing, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, or you know what, better yet, go write a question if you got one, and then I'll answer it either there, or if I decide to do another one of these, then I'll answer it then. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, last take. What inspires you about being? I just asked that question. Next question. Okay, last take. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, last take.